What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news coming in the form of this week at Bungie. Of course, we're very close to the launch of Season 17, so that's the primary topic of conversation today. Initially, they do speak about the reveal for Season 17. They give us a time to expect the trailer, and they are going to make us wait all the way until the launch of this season. But we'll talk about that as well as a breakdown of details related to the new dungeon launching next week. Then Bungie talk about future events, including the Solstice event for the year. They show off some new armor for Trials of Osiris, as well as touching on some other rewards, plus some patch note previews, a vault space increase, which is definitely unexpected, and a couple of other things which we'll touch on in the video. So, as always guys, I hope you enjoy this one, and now let's get into it. The very first thing to touch on in the video today is related to reveals for Season 17. Often we would see a reveal for a new season the week before it launches, but of course we're at the final twab before the launch of the new season, and the overall reveal, trailer and all of that stuff hasn't dropped yet. And on that note, DMG said, pretty excited for what's to come, short term and long. He goes on to say that moments of discovery are potent and important. To talk too early, you might lose some steam, but talk too much and we might deprive players of discovering things. Talk too late and some will get impatient. Finding balance is key, and to find balance we sometimes need to experiment. The trailer will come in time, but for now, we're keeping things close to the chest. We've been talking through quality of life changes and systematic updates for the last few weeks, and there will be more of that in the TWAB. Further on the subject of the trailer, in the TWAB they did confirm that we'll be able to tune in a bit earlier on Tuesday morning for a countdown on the release for the next trailer. So it doesn't look like Bungie will be doing any major reveals before Tuesday morning, and ultimately the reveal for the new season will happen pretty much immediately before it launches. So give us your thoughts about that. And next for the TWAB, they say they're going to talk about how seasonal events are evolving. So initially, they touch on plans for the upcoming Solstice event, which will begin on July 19th. And firstly, they point out that Solstice of Heroes is being renamed as Solstice, so the of Heroes part is being removed. I guess that kind of simplifies things. And they say this time, instead of completing armor objectives and collecting keys and packages, you'll be completing event challenges. But otherwise, one of the biggest changes we'll notice with Solstice is that the armor experience is changing a lot. So players only upgrade one set of Solstice armor throughout the event, and while you can get multiple instances of a helmet, for example, upgrading armor will allow you to re-roll its stats, and the stat potential of the armor will be shared across the drops. So that'd be cool, but another new feature coming to Solstice is an activity called Bonfire Bash, which is still going to take place in the European aerial zone. And they say Guardians will be building and stoking what can only be described as paracausal bonfires, while the enemies of Summer Fun will be attempting to crash the party and extinguish the fires. And they say they've updated the European aerial zone, adding more floating islands and removing building barriers for maximum maneuverability. So the gameplay is going to be mixed up a bit, but they say they're also introducing a new feature called Event Cards. And when Solstice begins, players will gain access to the event card that includes new points of interest to explore, including event challenges, event seals and titles, and unique event rewards. Every event card will be available for free to all players and can be accessed by interacting with Eva Levante in the tower. And so for the event challenges section of the card, they say, like seasonal challenges, event challenges are objectives that players can complete to earn rewards, and certain challenges will award players with familiar items such as shaders, emblems, or other gear, and they'll also grant event tickets. Every event challenge will be available for players to complete right when the event starts, so you won't need to wait until next week for additional challenges to become available. And these challenges can be completed in any order and at any point while the event is active. But in addition to event challenges, they'll also be introducing event seals and titles. And they say there will be two different types of seal, individual event seals as well as multi-event seals. And starting with Solstice this year, each Destiny event will come with a seal that players can complete, as well as a guild. And completing these seals is as simple as completing all of the event challenges on the card. Finishing every event challenge will automatically earn you seal progress and unlock the title for that seal. But guilding event seals will require completing additional triumphs that will only become available once the standard seal has been completed. So that's pretty interesting, but additionally, there will be multi-event seals, and starting with Solstice, players can complete a certain number of event challenges in each of the 4 yearly Destiny events to complete the seal. This means that the earliest players can complete the multi-event seal will be in the Guardian Games of next year, and players will also be able to guild this new seal after completing this standard version. So that's going to make events more interesting for sure. But it will also change how rewards work. And they say while the event card and challenge rewards are free for all players, acquiring these extra cosmetic rewards will require players to purchase the upgraded event card. And upgrading the event card will cost 1,000 silver and immediately grant players an exotic reward bundle. And so the collection of items they give the example of right here include an exotic emote, a sunny exotic ghost shell, as well as a legendary shader and emote, then a legendary ghost projection, an exotic ship, as well as transmat effects. And they say if you aren't sure whether you'll complete the event, wait until the last week to make the purchase and see how many tickets you've accumulated. Also in that chart we can see that some of the items are instant rewards, but others require us to spend the tickets that we earn in the activity content. Of course, we'll get plenty more details about that as we approach Solstice this year in July, but give us your initial thoughts on that down below. And up next, Bungie give us a patch note preview, so next Tuesday, of course, we'll get an update that's going to have a lot of changes. For Days of Eternity, they've increased the strange coins earned from the reward chest at the end of the activity from 1 to 3, and they add that this doesn't affect the number of strange coins earned from lightning rounds. Then for power and progression, power bands have been increased for the new season. The power floor will be 1350, which is the same as currently. The soft cap though will be 1510, up from 1500. The power cap 1560, up from 1550. And the hard cap will be 1570. And also the character power boost has been increased to 1510 with that new soft cap. So it's a power increase of 10 for the new season, which is what we expected to see. Something slightly unexpected though is vault space, and vault space has been increased by 100, so it was 500, and in Season 17 will be 600. Bungie say while we know this doesn't enable players to save every single piece of loot in the game, the team was able to pull some strings and get a little bit more space for vaults as they continue to investigate future solutions. So that is a positive overall, give us your thoughts below. But finally here's Xur, and his inventory should no longer be different if players manage to find him at destinations shortly after the weekly reset. He'll still appear with new gifts from the 9 when he returns at the regular time on Friday, but essentially Hostage Xur should no longer be useful for different roles and pieces of gear to what we get on the Friday. So not all good things last forever, unfortunately. Here though to some new content conversation. Bungie say next week we're launching a brand new dungeon. This will drop on Friday, May 27th at 10 AM Pacific. The recommended power to enter for normal difficulty will be 1550, but master difficulty will be live day 1 as well. And they say we'll let you discover where you're going and what you'll be doing for yourselves, but here's a high level look at the rewards available for the dungeon next Friday. So 1 legendary armor set per class, and artifice versions will also be acquired via master difficulty like what we saw in the 30th anniversary dungeon. It will also include 4 new legendary weapons, 2 legendary reprised weapons, so a total of 6 weapons is pretty cool, but also an exotic weapon, catalyst, and 1 exotic accessory, which is a ship or sparrow, as well as 2 legendary emblems. So a new armor set, 6 legendary weapons, and an exotic weapon is pretty cool. But they do say to get this dungeon, as well as the one coming in Season 19, the best way is to have the digital deluxe edition of Witch Queen. If you have that, you're already good to go. But if you don't, starting next Tuesday, it's going to be on sale for 25% off. Otherwise though, you'll be able to gain access to the dungeon as part of the Witch Queen dungeon key, which will be sold in the Eververse store for 2,000 silver. So 2,000 silver to access the dungeon if you don't own Deluxe is basically what Bungie are saying. Let us know what you think about that down below. Of course, this is something that Bungie have previously revealed. The final thing they show in the TWAB though is some new armor for Trials of Osiris, and the new Trials themed armor set there looks pretty cool. We can also see the new fusion rifle and sidearm for the Iron Banner right there, which Bungie have previously confirmed would be a thing. And they say there are 2 new cosmetic rewards coming online next season. You may have already noticed the Ghost in the armor preview, and that's above the Warlock in the middle right there. But otherwise, the Falcon's Chase Sparrow will also be a reward that we'll be able to pick up in the updated trials. For today though guys, that's what we have to round up in the video, so give us any thoughts you have down below. I'm certainly looking forward to the new season, and I'll be sure to keep you posted when that launches and we get information. If you've enjoyed the video today though, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Let us know what you're excited for in the new season as well, but otherwise thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.